I'm Dr. JJ Hurtak, and my wife, Dr. Desiree Hurtak, invite you to a fantastic program on cosmic origins. And the reason why this is so important is we have some very important researchers, the top of the line, who've been in Egypt, who've been in other parts of the world, bringing together, as it were, the blueprint of the coming changes, where all knowledge is going to come into full recognition that the cosmic connection was there thousands of years ago.
Right, and this is going to be in Sedona, Arizona, a very powerful place with vortex energy already here, and it's going to be Memorial Day weekend for 2017. So we invite everyone to come because we've done a lot of research. It's also going to have my good friend William Henry, who's gone many times, and many of you have probably even gone with him, to Egypt.
And also I work with Dr. Robert Schoch. We work with Boris Said in Egypt back in the 1990s, and also in Yanaguni, Japan, under the ocean. In fact, back in the 1960s, we were one of the first groups to be there in Egypt. I'm holding a picture of the Giza Plateau, minus all the technology and all of the hustle and bustle that we've seen in the last 30 years.
Right, and Robert Bauval is going to also be there, and he's doing some new books as well. And we're coming out with a new book as also talking about, we believe that there was really technology that the Egyptians had that are only being discovered today. And this is very simple technology, but it's also being used. It's called connected with salt water, batteries, and hydrogen energy. But the conference is not going to be all about science because it's called Cosmic Origins.
It's connecting the spiritual, the artistic, the inner scientific that the Egyptians were aware of. In fact, I've got a picture here going back to the discovery of the tomb of Osiris, which we made in the 1990s with colleagues using ground-penetrating radar, and we discovered to our surprise that there were very elaborate hydraulic systems that the Egyptians employed.
But what's very popular, of course, is the idea, also with Robert Bauval, of Orion as being key to the Great Pyramid and the pyramids that are there on the Giza Plateau. And we respect his book, which has been fantastic, but also Dr. Hurtak, in his book in the 1970s, called The Keys of Enoch, also mentioned the star shafts as being connected with Orion. So what's interesting is that Orion really is embedded in the cosmology of Egypt, but it's also embedded in the cosmology of the Mayans, and that's part of our talk at this conference. We're going to be showing the connection.
Right, Robert Bauval and the mathematicians he's working with actually fulfilled the mathematical overview that we presented 20 years before. A fantastic team of Robert Bauval, Dr. Schoch, other speakers with the indigenous background.
Also, Clifford Mahooty from the local area here will be talking about the stars, and others like Gary Osborn, who's done his own research on star connections.
So we're going to bring also the indigenous side, which is often overlooked. Here's a picture of our work with the Xavante peoples of Brazil. We are honorary members of this tribe, but they have shared with us secrets in terms of sacred geometry, sacred temples under the ground that connect with the overall blueprint of pyramids throughout the world. This information has never been released. We're bringing it forth for the first time.
But let's think about the power of the cosmic connection. Our connection with Orion, our connection with the Pleiades, our connection with Sirius. These are all star constellations that are keyed into the Great Pyramid, the Giza complex, as well as many of the pyramids in the Mayan area. The Pleiades is major for the Mayan culture. In fact, they looked at every so many years, they want to make sure the Pleiades was overhead to show that the planet was going to continue. That's important. They saw also that Orion, they considered him the father figure. So did the Egyptians. How did you pull this together? Come to the conference. We're going to be talking about it.
Here in Sedona, also called the City of the Stars, the Hopi and pre-Hopi traditions connect with the Pleiades. So, all come together. All of you come together for the joyous dance, for the joyous teaching, also for the connectiveness between East and West, North and South, particularly with indigenous brothers and sisters.
It's a great vortex area. We're going to be activating the pyramid vortexes that are also here by being together. We're going to be doing it by talking. We're going to be doing it by having great pictures and insights of what's taking place. And we're going to be doing it by just sharing together with all of you.
See you there.